All right. Well, hello there, Bengal Nation. My name is Andrew Willis. I'm one of our assistant principals here at Braswell High School, and I am so honored and delighted to be joined by these two wonderful gentlemen right here. To my right, I have Mayor Hudspeth of the city of Denton, and to my left, I have Mayor Cornelius from the city of Little Elm. We are so thankful that they have joined us here today. Just gonna have a conversation. I got really good kids here who are ready to ask some questions, and so we'll go ahead and get started. I thought that we could start off. We'll start with you, Mayor Cornelius, and you just kind of just give us a quick, who you are and how you became the mayor and what that was like, and that may not be quick now.
All right.
But we'll start there.
All right. So good morning, everyone. I'm Mayor Curtis J. Cornelius, town of Little Elm, and how I got started in politics. It's a long time ago. So I moved to Little Elm in 2004, immediately got involved with recreation, sports, the church, all different aspects. Fast forward to 2009, when I first decided to run as a council member. I won that race, won my next race in 2012. I ran for mayor in 2015, but we didn't prevail. But I didn't stop. That just fueled me, and I said, I'll be back. So I came back in 2017. I won another one in 2019. And then I won my first mayor's election 6 years ago. And now I'm in my second term as mayor, ran unopposed. So I'm in this seat for another 2.5 years, and I have the option to run one more time in 3 years.
All right. And we'll start with Mayor Hudspeth. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gerard Hudspeth, mayor, city of Denton, my hometown, born and raised there. Interestingly, similar path. I had friends that came up to me. Well, my dad served on the school board when I was in high school, so that kind of got the bug there, right? And then we fast forward to some friends came up to me and said, hey, you'd probably be good serving. Didn't know what that looked like. They're like, hey, we'll help you. Ran against an incumbent. Different than Mayor Cornelius. I lost first time out of the gate and got just destroyed. Then ran again, lost again. And then we won in 2017. Winning's better. And then first elected mayor in 2020. And so that's in the middle of a pandemic, George Floyd protest, and all the things, right? And Winter Storm Uri rolled around, and so we served as mayor through that, and we've been there since 2020. We are term limited, meaning you can't run again consecutively, so my term ends, that last term is May 2026. And so we served on some other boards and committees before that. I think that's a common refrain you'll hear is people being active in the community, and then they suggest that you run, and that they like the way you do manage issues and problem solve.
And you two gentlemen are the first African American mayors of your cities.
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Like, what is that like?
It's monumental. I was the first black sitting council member in 2009, first black to be elected. And you're held at a bigger standard because who you are and what you have proved can be done. So I rode that as a single only black council member for years, but I understood the long game. So 2009, first black council member, fast forward, first black mayor, and then first black mayor to run unopposed. And that does hold a lot of weight because I have to hold myself to a greater standard because people are watching me. It's like some wonder, how did he do this? But I do it because I want everybody to know it can be done. And I want to lay that groundwork to show you it can be done. Does it matter if you're the first? Not really. But when you succeed in that role, it really means a lot. And I know it means a lot more so to the young people that's watching your path in life. So for me, I'm here to say and show you it can be done.
When people ask me the hardest part of the job is I can never be me, right? You can't. They're just not ready, right? Because you're not supposed to talk about it, right? It's like, hey, don't talk about these things that are different. Focus on the issues at hand, but the issues at hand aren't set up for everybody to be dealt with equally, but people don't want to talk about that. So you have to kind of suppress that, let it out every now and again. But really for me, it's an education opportunity. It's when I walk into the mayor's office and we look around and there's no pictures in the mayor's office that look like me, they were left over. And so we go back to the city secretary and say, hey, bring out the other pictures. And she said, hey, I looked, I can't find any other pictures. And so now I'm infusing new pictures with different people on them to put in the office, and hopefully that continues forward, right? And I'll give you two more things. One thing is my favorite word to educate people on differences is the word perm, right? Because it's the same word, but depending on what beauty salon you go to, on which side of the tracks, you're gonna come out looking very different, right? One side you coming out straight hair, one side you coming out curly headed, but it's the same word. So same thing in life, right? When you're as a African American, as a black, you know, life experience may be a little different, right? And if I'm talking to somebody and I say T Jones, they may not know what I'm talking about, right? I got to go back and say mom, right? And so those are just things that you can be able to educate on. Another thing is that acknowledge and always embrace those differences, right? That is just don't deny those. So people, I gave a talk about this, but I'll tell you, when people say the talk was, or better said, people say I don't see color. I was like, well, how do you play checkers, right? right? Just common everyday stuff, right? This is real deal. Like there's some rooms when I walk in, I'm nervous. That's okay, right? Let's talk about it, but I'm not gonna act like, hey, yeah, this is a great room, you know. You know, just on site. Hey, this looks a little. We may need to go. You know, and that's okay. But people try to shy away from those, and I just embrace those conversations and that opportunity to educate people.
Yes, absolutely. And I think here at Braswell High School, we definitely do a good job of that. It's embracing our diversity. I think that's what makes us Braswell. I think that's our strength is in our diversity and creating that environment where everybody has a place. We all can get along and we all can achieve together. So I think, Mayor Hudspeth, I just wanted to echo that. So, well, let's pass it on to some of our beautiful students here.
Yeah.
Miss Kaylin, you want to start us off?
Yes. Hi, I'm Kaylin. I'm one of your varsity cheer captains here at Braswell, and I just want to first start off by saying thank you for coming. We are very appreciative and blessed to have y'all here. So, as the mayors of Denton and Little Elm, what are the biggest challenges that you had to face stepping into your spot, and what is something that you could take away and give on to us as uprising adults in society?
So I would say one of the biggest challenges is learning how to communicate differently to people, and you know, and with those challenges that come with that. So if I get upset, I may be perceived as out of control. Somebody else gets upset, they may be passionate, right? So you got to understand that just I'm communicating to somebody. I got to change my communication style so that they hear me. That's one, and then two, the biggest part or just trying to leave is just exactly what Mayor Curtis talked about. It's the bumps in life which you climb on. So everybody I talk to, I give them the example of a rock climbing wall. If you've ever climbed on the rock climbing wall, a smooth, nice spot with no rocks is a problem, right? That's like you need those bumps to climb on. So that's what I say. I say, you know, use those bumps in life to climb on. So there's going to be rough spots, undeniable. Use those.
Yeah. Similar to what Mayor Hudspeth said, it's all about understanding your audience. And that was probably one of the biggest challenges coming into this role as the first African-American mayor is you have to know your audience. You got to know your room. So that's what kind of make you move how you should move until you get your legs under you, and then you understand. Ultimately, it becomes, when you get comfortable, now this is my role. And it's not being aggressive or it's not being cocky. It's just, you know your worth now. So when you understand your audience, eventually you'll understand your worth. And that was probably one of the biggest challenges that I had to figure out how to navigate. Probably the best thing about it is being able to build relationships. When you build relationships with people that you normally wouldn't share a room with or share a table with, that's what it's all about. This is not anything that's transactional. Me and the mayor, we were just having a conversation before we started. But when I got into this seat, our relationship didn't exceed Little Am. So I had to figure out a way, how can I bridge that gap? How can I build relationships with the county? How can I build relationships with the other mayors in the county, the state, all the way up to the White House? So I've spent years building those relationships, and I appreciate now being able to do that.
Hi, I'm Amy Campos. I'm the captain of the drill team this year. And my question for y'all is, how do y'all find a healthy balance between family and being mayor and getting everything done?
Good question.
That's yeah. Can you find balance? I don't believe, I know we want to say work-life balance. I don't know if it's achievable. You literally have to try to map out your day the best you can, but you also have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready when the ball turns this way or it goes that way. So you understand what you need to do, you understand what you have to do, but you still got to figure out how to make that puzzle work. So there's no such thing as I'm spending 50% of my time with my family, 50% of my time as mayor. Keep in mind, we also have full-time jobs. So there's something else that let's go ahead and clear that up. We don't get paid. Just so everybody know, the mayors, we get X amount of dollars per meeting, but this is not a full-time pay job, which everybody thinks and feel. If it were, then we probably could do better at that work-life balance. But because we have to maintain a full-time job, we have to do a family, we have to be mayors amongst everything else, it's hard. You just have to, I just stay prayed up and keep going.
Yeah. No, he's exactly right. And to add to that, it's interesting. I think we have the same mind because we bump into each other a lot. Like, you incorporate your family into it. You like when I went to UNT basketball game last night, I took my kids with me. Or if we're going to another event, there's another like a home tour type thing. We go like this home builders like, hey, come out. And I was like, hey, my first question always is it family friendly? Because then I'm bringing my kids with me, right? And so they get to see these things, they experience these things. If I'm going to tour something, then they're going with me. We're touring the water plant or wastewater plant, anything. It's like, hey, my kids are coming. We'll have to do it in the summer or this, that, and the other. So you incorporate where you can, but it is, there's undeniable. It is a challenge to be in two places at once, and when life happens, right? Like, like this water main breaks, this fire breaks out, and hey, Mayor, we need you to come do this or that. And so there's just those things that are going to happen. To his point, that just aren't planned, and you have to have capacity for those. And he's had an employer, and now both, has somebody that is okay with that, right? That's really the key, is finding a place for that full-time employment that allows you to understanding the benefits that come from it. Just like you say in relationships, like there's benefits that come from having a mayor work with you, but there's also challenges because you have these other interruptions. But finding an employer that understands that balance and that value is really critical, and then fold it in your family. I think that's really that keeps me duct taped together. I don't wear a tie that my kids don't decorate. Like that's my way of bringing them with me, right? So and they just that's just part of it. That's just me. That just kind of helps me stay focused. If I have to go someplace, I'm going and I'm coming right back. I don't need extra day to hang, right? So it's just those things, right? So you try to compress the interruptions best you can.
Hello, my name is Drew Allen, and I am the Vice President of Choir and the President of I Am Second. And I just want to ask, becoming the first African-American mayor of both y'all's towns is a huge accomplishment. So what are y'all's next goals, since y'all have already accomplished that? What's next?
Got it. I'm at my next. I have no future aspirations or plans to go any higher than I am now. I'm a community-driven person, and I want to be able to impact what I can touch. And that's just how I look at it. I've met my pinnacle, and I'm totally happy with it. If things change, things change. But if you ask me today, I am where I'm supposed to be in life, and I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, no, undeniable. Mayor is the greatest gig going, man. They make you earn it, every bit of it. Right? Like it is. Don't give it. It is. You had to talk to people, right? So I say it's a contact sport, but it's really. I mean, it is that. But above and beyond that, next for me, two things, right? You don't want to mess it up for the next person, right? And I don't allow myself to think about it much, and I'd be curious to know if you think about it. But it's kind of like, hey, this is the house that the first black mayor in Denton lived in, right? So I don't want to mess it up, right? Like, do I change it? It's just like that's in the back of my mind. Like, hey, this is the first, fill in the blank. Do I save it? Do I throw it away? Where are we gonna put all this stuff? Right? There's just all those things kind of that afterwards that I think about. But then also for me, I certainly want to keep serving, right? So we'll look at county office or whatever. But I think the mayor's on to something there. You got to be a special kind of person. Mayors get things done, right? That's what you're passionate about. It's just like, hey, what can we affect for the betterment of our community? That's what we do. We do not bicker back and forth and get nothing done, right? That's and so when you get into some of those higher offices, it's about posturing and positioning, and just that is not attractive to me. So as long as it's an office where I can continue to get stuff done and work for the community and go back to your question, stay home. Like, I'm not looking to travel 4 days a week, but that's what some Congress people do. They'll go, if you're a United States Congressperson, you can fly in and out during the week and make it work. Or if you're in Austin for several months a year, that can work as a state representative. But that's just not for me at this phase. I want to continue to stay in the community and serve well.
So I personally feel like self-doubt can be one of our biggest enemies. And my question was, have y'all ever majorly doubted yourselves, and what did y'all do to overcome that?
That's great. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Have I ever self-doubted? Yes. As I explained earlier, you're getting into something you know absolutely nothing about. This is literally how I got involved. Little Am used to send out everything on the water bill in 2008, 2009, saying, here are the seats that's available. My wife saw it on the water bill. Her side of the family comes from politics, not my side. So she was like, hey, there's this council seat. I was like, girl, let's go. I got your back. I fully support you. Not knowing that she was saying you should do it. And I was like, oh, let's slow your roll. Let's figure this out. So as soon as she mentioned it to me, self-doubt. It kicked in just like that, because I don't know what I'm getting ready to get into. I don't know how to campaign. I've never had to. Am I even qualified to do this? But then you realize you know who you are. And then you implement that. And you're like, okay, baby steps. I can figure this out along the way. So when you start to turn that self-doubt into I can, then you start to push yourself. And you push yourself to places that you've never been, but you know exactly where you're trying to go. Like I explained to y'all earlier, the first day y'all hit that college campus, your first thought need to be matriculating this university. So as I started, I already saw myself, okay, if I do this, I can ultimately get there. That's how I curve my self-doubt. Knowing who you are, knowing your capabilities, and how to implement them as you go.
Yeah, great question, by the way. Really, really, really wise. And I would say much the same. And for me, one of the hardest challenges was I came in and I'm a kick in the front door type dude. I'm not sneaking around the side door. I'm not sneaking in windows. I'm bringing it straight to you, right? And so I thought, okay, as mayor, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to confront these people that disagree with me, and I'm going to amaze them with my knowledge of answer their questions and be responsive and all that. That lasted about a month, and they broke me down. Hey, man, it's a cold, mean world out there on Facebook. And they don't have a job. They just yelling at you all day. I'm like, this is crazy. And so, but yeah, it began to just break me down, right? Like, it was just rough. Like, it's like, oh man. And so, and so I had to, one, you got to be honest with yourself, right? I think I may be wrong, but I think it's Tupac that said, to the thine own self be true may not be right. Don't quote me. But the fact of the matter is the same. Just you got to be true to yourself, right? Understand where you are mentally, right? Like, okay, this is wearing on me. I need to adjust some stuff, right? And so that's what I have to do. I got off of there as much, right? Didn't argue with people as much, just kind of stayed true to myself. And what helps that is, again, going back to contacting and talking to people, you begin to understand the genuine people that you're having a relationship with, and you're not kind of, so you know, hey, I've talked to this many residents, I know what's important to them. I have a feel for those things, and then that kind of gives you the peace of mind. But then also, man, I'm on the elliptical. These guys are too young; they don't know nothing about that. I'm on an elliptical 5 days a week trying to keep this thing duct taped together. And so, and every day I'm listening to a sermon, right? Because I got to just I got to replenish. And that's just for me personally, right? That's what makes me work, is just getting back into the word and understanding and learning and reassuring those things in my mind to make sure I'm healthy. And I'll end with this. If I were to write a book, I'd steal the airports, the airlines industry's term when they're on the plane and they say, put your mask on first, right? You got to take care of yourself, because if you're not good for anybody else. So taking care of yourself and making sure so again, my house is great for me. My kids may think it's terrible, right? That's okay. I'm comfortable, right? And so that's really the thing. But that mindset, right, of just singular, I want you to be 100%. Right. And then if you have a friend that joins in at 100%, that's 200%, great. But I never want y'all in a situation where you're 50% looking for 50%, right? Like, make sure you're 100% in all things. And then, people can add to that, come on in, but I don't need that. That's critical.
Yes. And I know that we could talk to these two gentlemen for a very long time. And Kaylin, you look like you have another question, but we have to switch it up. We have some other students that need to come. And so we're gonna quickly switch. You guys ready over there? All right, let's go.